All right, it's Trent Albert here with Kelly the Ghost Pavlik. How are you, brother?
Doing good, man. Just again, being busy and staying active.
That's good, man. That's good. You're always active on the Instagram. I like that.
Yeah, I've been getting a little help with that, and just it's hard with everything going on, trying to find content too. You don't want to come off being a cornball, and you want something that's showing people things or giving tutorials, and
That's right.
I'm always trying something a little different, and we'll have different things coming up too. So it'll
That's
be
right, man.
something that ain't just all boxing.
You're looking like a cruiserweight right now, champ.
I know. I'm actually I'm actually heavyweight. I
Oh, you're
was up.
heavy.
I was up to 260. I was doing the powerlifting,
No shit.
and it was taking a toll on me. And now I'm back down to like 225.
Oh,
So
good deal, man.
225, 224. For being 6'2", and I like to get down right around 215, 220.
Good deal, man. Good deal. Well, champ, did you hear the news today about the Spence and Pacquiao?
Yeah, I did.
Broke my heart.
Yeah, it sucks. But at the same time, I can't get mad at Spence. These fighters get a lot of shit for that.
No, for sure.
They take a lot of slack, and I mean, come on, let's be realistic. People call off work on everyday jobs when they got belly aches.
Yeah.
I understand this is a big payday mega fight, but you got to detach retina and he's going to get surgery on it. I mean, that's something that could actually 5-10 years down the line, be a problem with him.
Exactly.
The health for the rest of his life. So it sucks. Yeah. I mean, I do get it. It was a big fight that I think everybody was excited to see, but hopefully they reschedule it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like you said, man, you want to go into the fight of your life 100% or as close as you can be to 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I've made that mistake. A lot of fighters have, and again, I know it's not people are gonna get mad at me, but they don't owe anybody anything. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? Like they're entertainers, and you have spectators, and that's the way it's been. Since the Roman days.
That's right. That's right.
A time, and they don't owe because when they retire. And when he can't see or he has medical bills, ain't nobody gonna be paying the bills. So
he's the one that's got to deal with that. Exactly.
Yeah. So you got to take care of your health, and again, overall, yeah, it does suck though.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, champ, I know I've heard you talk about Usyk on your podcast, The Punchline. For anybody who hasn't tuned in, man, tune in. It's great. What do you think about him and Joshua?
Man, believe it or not, that's an interesting fight.
That's a very interesting fight.
I think it's really interesting. Joshua's big. He's big and he can fight. We know that. But my thing with the reason why I have a good fight is Anthony Joshua kind of fades. He kind of fades in the middle rounds. Not because he don't train hard, it's because just genetically he's so big. He's so
big
muscular.
Dude, yeah, big guy.
Yeah. And it's not that he gets so much tired lung wise as much as it is muscle weary.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you got a guy like Usyk who's not small. Usyk is 6'4". They have him listed 6'3". I stood next to him. That dude is 6'4". Yeah.
He's a big boy.
And he's a guy who likes to throw a lot of punches and he does it for 12 rounds at heavyweight.
Exactly. He only gets stronger.
Yep. If he could get past, if that fight goes into the 5th round, we have a really interesting fight.
No doubt. No doubt.
So it's hard for me to really pick a winner. It's heavyweight, anything can always happen. And Joshua's that big and that good. But again, like I say, I'll just leave it at this. If that fight goes, 5 rounds, it becomes a very interesting fight.
Very, very. Usyk might throw a big monkey wrench into this heavyweight division.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's plans. That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Holyfield. But yeah, also very interesting fight this weekend with Vergil Ortiz and Igas Kavaliauskas. I interviewed Igas last week, I think it was. Very interesting. Vergil and Igas in one ring. That's going to be a slugfest.
Yeah. I'm not going to be biased. Vergil, is a good buddy of mine, and I love the kid and his father. They're just terrific people, and Vergil could fight.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Right, there definitely is no doubt. I mean, he could bring it, and but this is the test. This is a good test, and I think Vergil definitely wins it. But I think if Vergil could go in and stop him or take him out impressively, I mean, now he has to be number one
That
contender.
that'd be a big statement if he went in there and got the Mean Machine out of there, because he's a tough dude.
Exactly, and Vergil's definitely capable of doing it with all the tools that he got.
No, for
Yeah,
sure.
so they can't avoid him after this, and they can't deny him. I think it's just too much, and I think it adds too much to that welterweight, that already loaded weight class.
Exactly. Well, Terrence Crawford said that Vergil's got to get through Egas first, so hopefully if he does, that could be a fight that could be made and very interesting.
Yeah, and I think everybody will be excited for that one.
No, for sure. Anytime Bud and Vergil get in the ring, man. I'm a Texas native, so I don't want to say I'm biased to Vergil. Egas took his time and did an interview with me, and I really appreciate him. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
But man, Virgil's a beast. He fought a buddy
that's
of
the
mine.
thing too. Like that welterweight, all them guys. I mean, they're all cool people. Bud,
sure.
Spence. Just Vergil. I've known
He's
him a little
special.
longer. Yeah, and it's just been pretty cool.
My buddy Mike Yanez fought Vergil on the amateurs. I'm from Texas, like I said, and they fought in San Antonio, I believe. And to this day, he said he's never been hit to the body like that in his life.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even want to get hit. I'm 225, and I want to get hit by something.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Hey, Kelly, I think the first time you came on my radar was the Zuniga fight. I grew up with some Puerto Ricans here in Texas, and they had Boxeo, the Boxeo channel.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a fight, brother.
Well, yeah, because Zuniga, or was that Edison Miranda? Edison Miranda, I think, trained in Puerto Rico, but was a Colombian fighter.
Yeah.
Zuniga was Colombian too, and man, they hit hard. Yeah, but
Tough.
What a fight that was. Zuniga was a weird type fighter because he didn't look like he threw hard. None of his punches. Because actually, before I even fought him, he was signed by Top Rank, and he would train at Top Rank's gym.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching him, like he was throwing the punches easy, but the whole back was just jolting up and down. And I'm going,
shit.
Holy shit, this kid. and then, when you fought him, I mean, he was just one of them guys like Miranda. When he hit you or he tapped you, you felt that. You carried that punch for 4 or 5 rounds. And he had a hard head. I mean, a great chin. And then another thing, he was like me. So not only did he hit hard, but he could take a punch.
That's right.
That was what was crazy. So
that's what made for such a great fight. Y'all both could take a punch and give it right back.
And throw mini punches.
That's right. The work rate was incredible, man. Yeah, and then that takes us into the Miranda fight. Of course, that was a big statement. Big statement.
Yeah. So the Miranda fight, man, nobody was giving me a chance for that.
No,
fight.
I remember.
I mean, and he was the boogeyman of the middleweight division at that time. I mean, people were just going straight past me talking about him versus Taylor.
That's right.
And people soon forget a lot of that. And when I went into that fight, that was just a big statement that had to be made. I told everybody the game plan was to back Miranda up. Now, like Lampley said, nobody's ever backed Miranda up. Nobody's ever tried to back Miranda up. But the reason why our game plan was to back him up was because Edison Miranda was more dangerous when you try to move him from him. He threw those looping right hands pretty fast, pretty
unorthodox,
quick. Yeah, and that was kind of the difference, So we knew that we were going in, we were going to take shots, and that we had to go hard, and and back him up.
I watch that fight, man, at least once a year just to see your reaction after you knock him down. Oh God.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, brother. What did it feel like to hand Jermain Taylor his first and second loss? That's a legend. He goes down as a legend.
I know, and he, what a great fighter he was. People will soon forget on that too. Exactly. I don't say this to defend him or defend my win, but a lot of people gave before I fought him was giving him a little bit of shit because of the fights with who was it? Kasim Uma, Winky Wright. I mean, come on, dude. Them guys make everybody look bad. Kasim
exactly, man. Nobody looks good against Winky.
Yeah, or Kasim Uma. I mean, the kid throws 100 different punches and ducks in and out, and was another one, a volume puncher and just awkward. Yeah, Winky Wright. I mean, I think Winky Wright right now could go fight most of the guys,
no doubt,
and make them look bad.
No question.
So, and Corey Spinks.
No
a
doubt.
super fast, super slick fighter, southpaw, and and he still won those fights. I mean, so like he said, I'm winning, but
Exactly.
to go in there in that fight and beat him, and especially the way I did. I mean,
No,
it kind of just the top off 2007 the way I did.
for sure.
Going in there, it started with Zartucci.
Mm-hmm.
Zartucci was at the time. I'm not saying he was by any means a world beater, but he was
He was a tough
a
dude.
Mexican, a Mexican Olympian,
Mm-hmm.
very tough. He gave I don't know who this is right now. Hold on one second. I'm sorry.
No, no worries, brother.
Yeah, but he was giving everybody a go. He
No.
was and yeah, so he had the Zuniga fight actually. Zartucci did. So a lot of people wouldn't have taken that fight. You know what I mean? And I took that fight in 2007, stopped him. I'm sorry, I'm trying. I got people blowing up my phone.
No, no worries, brother. No worries.
Yeah, and then so that was a big one to start 2007. I knocked him out,
Mm-hmm.
and then going into the Miranda fight where, again, I was the big underdog, and not only did I beat Miranda, I beat the crap out of him and knocked him out. And I think in the 7th round that fight was stopped.
Yep.
And then I turn back around and I go there against Jermain Taylor, and I knock him out in the 7th
Get him
round.
out of there.
All in 2007. It was like the 7-7-7 thing, and
That's beautiful, man.
so yeah, it was a special year, and it was hard. To this day, I'm a little salty about it, but not getting fighter of the year, I guess I just missed.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that, but
Underdog in every single fight, and you come out on top.
Yep.
It's insane, man. I was a junior in high school. When you knocked out Jermain Taylor, I don't think I've screamed that hard since.
They make me feel old.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That was a good time, though, man.
Good times, man. So let
and
me
then,
ask you.
And the second fight was pretty big on that one too, because, and it's weird. I don't get it. Nobody was giving me a chance to win that second fight.
Mm-hmm.
What they did, they said, but the only way I beat Jermain again is if I knock him out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I couldn't beat him by outboxing him, and I don't understand that, because if you go back and watch the first fight, okay, obviously 10-8 round in the second round, and I only gave Jermain the 4th round after that. First round I dominated. The beginning of the second round until I got hurt and dropped, I was outboxing him.
Exactly.
The 3rd round I came back and just that was the round that I sucked the soul out of him in the first fight. And because after he dropping me and expending all that energy, I come out in the 3rd round. I throw like 99 punches that round and just beat the crap out of him. And I think it was the 4th, maybe the 4th or 5th I gave him, but that was it. So I gave him a total of 2 rounds out of 6.5 rounds. And so when people were saying that, just sometimes it goes to show, like, I don't know, people
watch the highlights.
Yeah, exactly. or they're not truly watching the damn fight.
Exactly. Yeah, that's 90% of fans anyway.
Yep.
But how did it feel like to go out on top, man? I know. What did you win? Your last 4 or 5 fights?
Yeah, it was cool. So going out to Los Angeles, it was kind of a hard spot though. Usually you up and leave your hometown at the beginning of your career when you're not making the money, when you don't have the world titles.
Exactly.
For me, I had family at home. I was already pro 11 years. I've made good money, everything else. So it was kind of like, why do I have to up and leave? And I kind of understand it. And it was a great time out there in Oxnard. I learned so much with Robert Garcia.
Oh, I bet. Great guy.
Yeah, just the whole crowd, the great people. It was a blast. But it was just something like, at that point, I was kind of going through the motions. And then on top of that, I understand, like, the first fight against Aaron Jaco. I understand that type of fight because I'm getting acclimated to Oxnard. I'm getting used to training with Robert Garcia. So that was cool with that. But then you go into a Scott Sigmund fight, and then we turn around and we fight Will Brzezinski, who was a tough fighter. Will was a good amateur and respectable, but it was kind of hard. That was almost 9 months out there at that point, and of those type fights, and there was no big fights getting mentioned. So at that point, I was really pretty much done with the sport. Yeah. And I would say the icing on the cake was finally they started talking about the Andre Ward fight, and we were that close to that fight being made.
I remember it.
Yeah, I mean the paper was actually being sent to me, the contract, and that fight was
Is that when Ward got the shoulder injury?
Yeah, and I was rejuvenated, man. I was all pumped up.
Oh, I bet.
And then that fight, got canceled, and that just really took the last bit of air out of me. And not only that, but there was no other real meaningful fights out there. Super Six was still kind of going on, so a lot of the big fights. I mean, there was really no meaningful fight out there. Not even a top contender really was there a fight. So at that point, I was done. Boxing, I promised, my wife, my family, I told a lot of people, my parents, that I didn't want to be in boxing long. And there's a lot of guys like that, even Robert Garcia understood, Robert retired pretty early. But I didn't retire early either, so that's another crazy one. Sometimes I get confused on with some of the people. I think a lot of people think my career began in 2007.
Yeah, no shit.
You know what I mean? But I turned pro in 2000. It took me 7 years to even get a title.
Yeah.
So I was pro over 12 years with 42 pro fights. And I'll go to tell you how much that is look at Floyd Mayweather. He turned pro 4 years before me. And he fought, I think, 6 years after me. And he only had 8 more fights than I did.
No shit, man.
So, and actually 9 fights, more real fights.
And he's one of a kind, shit. So,
yeah. So that was a lot.
Well, not many boxers could say that they went out on their own terms. The sport retires a lot of people. They don't get to retire on their own terms, man. So you should be proud of that.
And unfortunately in this sport, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
No doubt.
If you stick around too long and you suffer health issues and stuff like that from it, nobody cares, and they say that you're punch drunk and you stuck around too long. Yeah. If you retire too early, it's something personal, or you
should have fought so and so.
Yeah, and so it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. You can't win in it. So I get what I always tell these young fighters is just look out for yourself, man. Go in there while you're going, give the fans what they want to see. Put your all into it because it benefits the fighter as well, and just give it your all while you're in it. And then get out. Get out,
exactly. And I think a lot of young fighters are actually taking that route these days. I hear Josh Taylor already talking about a few more fights left in me and this and that. He just became undisputed, so that's good. Get your money, get out of there. It ain't healthy for anybody.
Exactly.
Who are some of the names that you like to watch fight nowadays? Give me 3 of them.
Oh shit, man, good question. I can't really give you 3 because there's so many. My big thing even coming up, I never had like favorite fighters. You know what I mean? I was just a fan overall of the sport. I shouldn't say that. I had De La Hoya, Toro Gotti growing up, but I would say now, obviously Vergil Ortiz. Again, a little biased, but
shout out to Vergil, man. No, he's killing it.
Yeah. But I like watching him fight. I mean, there's a kid who's quiet. You ever notice the quiet people or the
killers?
The killers. And so Vergil is one of them. I do like watching Bud Crawford fight. I like
another
watching
quiet guy.
Fight. Yeah, Spence. Who else? There's so many. Mikey Garcia.
Mikey Garcia always.
Well, Mikey's a tactician and he can fight.
Sure. I want to see him and Regis. I heard some talk about Mikey and Regis Prograis stepping in the ring together.
Yeah, I heard that. Exactly. I'm not going to lie. A lot of people don't give him credit, but I'd have to say Lomachenko.
Loma, man.
Yeah, I love
incredible.
Watching him. Yeah, you're not going to see talent like that too often.
No doubt.
And then going on that, Teofimo Lopez.
Exactly.
So actually, I was doing an interview the other night, and it's crazy. Boxing really ain't taking off like it should be, and
with all the talent.
It's not at its highest peak, but it's crazy because right now I think this is the most ever in boxing. Look at every weight class. Look at lightweight.
Stacked.
Yeah, lightweight is stacked. Junior welterweight is stacked. Welterweight stacked. Super middleweight.
Everything, man.
Heavyweights. I mean, really
heavyweight stacked. This is the best heavyweight division we've had in a while.
Exactly. So I mean, people are missing out. I mean, to be honest with you, they really are. It's exciting right now, and each weight class. That's why I say, like, who'd I love to watch fight? Man, I mean,
everybody,
it's like saying, it's like saying, what's your favorite movie? And off the top of your head, you're gonna spit a couple of them out, and then you're gonna be sitting home, and one of them is gonna hit you, and be like, holy shit, why didn't I mention that one?
Exactly, man. Well, it's a good time for boxing, brother. I don't want to take up no more of your time, Kelly. I know you're a busy man. I know you got stuff with the kids to do. So I just want to thank you again, brother, for taking this time and speaking with me. You want to
problem,
shout out your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so we're on a little break right now with the Punchline, but we'll probably be back on. So it's the Punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez.
He's a funny guy, James.
Yeah, right.
I get a kick out of it.
No filter on that, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then they can follow me on Instagram at pavlik.kelly.
For sure, brother.
So, and I guess TikTok. I'm getting used to the TikTok thing. Yeah. So I think it's kelly.pavlik.
Good deal, man. Good deal. Well, thanks again, brother. And we'll get together and do this thing again sometime. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's especially have another big fight or whatever. Let's get together and chat about it, man.
You can be my regular on the show.
Hell yeah.
The ghost.
I'm down, bro. I'm down.
All
you
right.
Let me know.
Sounds good, brother. Thanks again, Kelly. Enjoy your family, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Uh-huh.